Hello, everybody. Today we are going to discuss intervals in music. So if you don't know anything about this topic, you are perfectly right here. Interval means distance, gap. So for example, you rush to the tube station and you just see the tube leaving, and exhausted you look, when is the next tube going to arrive? And you see it only will take 3 minutes. In 3 minutes, the next tube will be here. So in this case, we have an interval of 3 minutes. The interval means distance in time. We are not interested in that. We want to know what is an interval concerning music. In music, an interval also is a distance, is a gap. It's the gap between two notes, and this gap can be very, very small. The notes can also be very far from each other, and there are different names for the intervals depending how far from each other these two notes are, and we are going to check these names. The material we are now taking for these intervals are the basic notes. Means no flats and no sharps. The names of the tones are C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and C. It looks like a mistake at the B, because it's hard to see if this is a B or an H. The reason is because in German the B is called H. But this doesn't have to bother you. Let's go on with the intervals. The name of the first interval is unison. Let's listen to that. The starting tone is the same as the final tone. So if you count 1 and you already arrived. With the second interval, it's easy, like with the third and fourth and so on, because the names are just like you count. The second interval's name is second. Let's listen to that. You start with 1 with the starting tone and you end with 2 at the final tone, second. The third interval, the third. Let's listen. 1, 2, 3. So the first and the third note make the interval, C, E in that case. The fourth interval is called fourth. Again, let's listen to that. C, D, E, F. 1, 2, 3, 4, the fourth. The fifth interval is called fifth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. C and G. The sixth. C, A. 6 notes. C, B, the seventh. And with the last interval for today, the octave, we have a little remembrance to the Roman times with the name octave. 8 notes. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The first and the last one sound the same. The last one is just higher than the first one. Here you see 2 notes and nothing else. A little bit frightening, isn't it? Let's listen to the sound of these 2 notes played by a guitar. Which interval is this? Once more. It's not the neighbor and it's not the same. Let's count. 1. So from the beginning to the end you can count 5. This means the 5th. That's right, the 5th interval. It's not so difficult, isn't it? Your starting note is a G and you want to go up a 3rd. What's the name of the final note? Let's listen. The result is G, B. You can hear 3 notes. The second is only for recognizing how many you have to count. The 3rd are the first and the last note. Again you have a G and you want to go down a 3rd. What's the name? That's the sound. The result. G, E. G, E is a 3rd starting from the G, going down. Up to now we were just looking at the notes and more or less checking with our eyes which could be the interval. Now we are checking with our ears. We start with F and want to know what interval we hear and what's the name of the final note. Let's listen. Let's listen again. The result is unison. You could count only 1 from the starting note and you arrived already. So unison is the correct answer. Congratulations. This was not too difficult, but I'm sure you are going to manage the next one too. Again, we start with the F. What kind of interval do we hear now? It's not a neighbor, it's not the same, it's quite far away. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So from the first to the last there are 6 notes, tones, which means The result is you could hear a sixth. My friends, I hope you now do have a clue about the intervals, and we'll meet soon again. Goodbye for today. Bye.